Can't believe the year's almost over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I just like making whining sounds at the beginning of a show, Jack.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Dude, how you been, man? How you been?
Tired, busy, usual stuff.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I took 2 unscheduled days off from this show. It's just the way timing has gone. And then the timing of the show in general has been so off lately. I mean, everything just feels weird right now. However, I got a shit ton of sleep and I'm actually feeling good. A little sore because I was out today, but otherwise feeling pretty good.
Good.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, same as always.
Well, that was
I'm not a very exciting person. You know, all my adventures are kind of stupid and weird. They're not really interesting to anybody but me. So, yeah, I haven't really done anything. I went to do a little bit of shopping today. So I went to the gas station to get gift cards, and I went to the comic shop to buy me stuff. And talked to the comic shop guy, and he was telling me his exciting adventures, and his life is 1,000 times more interesting than mine. So,
I mean,
that was it.
Mine has been interesting lately, but not. I haven't gone out much. We did go out today, and the only thing to note is the poor bastard who was working electronics at Walmart was it's 8:30 in the morning, Jack, and he's already overwhelmed because they're getting busy in there, and he's the only guy working. And the store manager had come by, and I'm like, you need to tell him to get you more help out here. He's a pussy. He's the manager that was a store manager when I worked there. He's still the store manager of that store. He's a douchebag. I don't like him. He fired me once and was forced to rehire me. And he's an asshole. And Lady Monkey ended up having to go back in the store, and she ran into him. And I said, "Did you tell him to go get them help?" And she goes, "No, I just told him what a good job the guy back there is doing." Oh, you're so much nicer than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, fat man, get back there and help him out, you piece of... I hate that man. I really do. He's such a douchebag. Anyway, Jack, I'm not here to talk about Walmart tonight. I'm actually not here to talk about anything specifically.
Oh.
Lots of generalities going on out there. Lots of different stories. You and I haven't been together for like a week.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
So lots of stuff has been going on, but like there's not like a major story right now. I mean, you do have the idiots out there who shut down the entrance to O'Hare today.
Fucking retard. It's too early in the show for that.
Nah, you can say it. I don't care.
What a bunch of jackasses. That's so fucking rude. I'm so tired of these people blocking traffic. I don't care what your cause is. I will not support it if you're going to block the damn traffic. That is so incredibly inconvenient for people that have lives and things to do. Just because you're an unemployed loser with way too much free time doesn't mean the rest of us are. All right?
Yeah, you look at this. You ever been to O'Hare?
Once, long time ago.
Busy fucking airport. It used to be the busiest in the United States until Atlanta took over.
Yeah, Atlanta, it blows everyone else out of the water.
But these fucking assholes just blocking the place. This isn't Chicago. Are they trying to get shot?
Right? People in Chicago are angry all the time. They will either run you over and then back up over you, or they're going to shoot you and then run you over.
Yeah, and frankly, blocking an airport like that, these idiots should have been arrested for that stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Chicago PD is doing, because there's no reason they shouldn't have gone in to stop this crap. And usually they're fairly brutal with their tactics. So Chicago PD's got a pretty nasty reputation for going a little hands-on early. So
Kyler says, protesters, you mean speed bumps that scream? Yes. And I'm not at all okay, because I know we're not supposed to root for violence or anything, but if you get hit because you're intentionally standing in the middle of the fucking road, I have no sympathy.
Yeah, I at that point, I don't care if the cops go into truncheons flying and fire hoses, because you kind of deserve it. You're making everyone else's life incredibly inconvenient and probably putting people at risk.
Snubber, thank you so much. Unrelated, but Kinsey from Queer Kid Stuff. Blair did a video, and Kinsey apparently thinks kink and kids should be around each other. Everyone who gave you, Bearing, and them shit owe you a massive apology. Look, it's Lindsay, not Kinsey. Lindsay is a creep.
She's creepy, yeah.
Should not be around children. I mean, the whole idea of what she's doing is to sexualize kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
With her little pedo bear.
Yeah, I feel bad for Teddy. He's being forced into this, probably a threat of dismemberment.
I bet that bear's crunchy as shit.
I bet she's done horrible things to that poor bear. But yeah, it's yeah, you're not wrong. Her whole show is kind of based around sexualizing kids, and I think that she should be looked at. But calling her Kinsey is pretty apt. I mean, he was a pervert too, so I get it. If you're making a joke there, it does work.
It does work. You know, but before we get to that, because unfortunately I do want to talk about pedos here in a minute. I have a couple of donations from while we were gone, and let's see. Dragon Mage, I don't know if I read that one, so thank you. It says, I argued with a retard who whined about their pay while only worked the bare minimum to be in full-time work and hated the idea of working more hours than they were just demanding that they be paid more. I talked about millennials on the last show, Jack, and how lazy they are and how whiny they are about every little minor detail in their life. Because there was a post that asked, do the millennials have it tougher than any other generation? I'm like, fuck no. That's fucking retarded to even ask.
Yeah, I watched that stream and I was shouting at the monitor as if you could hear me. And I'm like, this is a replay. Why am I doing that?
But I was right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would say you didn't go far enough.
And Chris, thanks so much. Good morning, Monkey. Missed the last show, December 21st. But it was my birthday. I'd love a song. It'd be so if you'd be so kind. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family, Jack and his, and everyone in chat. Well, thank you for that feminist $12. And for you, Chris, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Chris. Happy birthday to you. Hold those vocals. We got one more. Thank you so much, Zan Wild, for that very generous donation. Today, I celebrate my 53rd trip around the sun. Ready for my song. Have to Jack, please. Will do. Thank you. Zan, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Zan Wild. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, guys. Hope you had great ones. Really do. And yeah, happy birthday. Speaking of which, Merry Christmas, guys. This is Christmas Eve. This is our Christmas Eve show, Jack. Y'all ready for the holiday?
We don't really do much for the holiday. So, yeah.
We do, and I love it, but it's actually going to be a little bit behind the holiday. We'll have some gathering on Christmas, but the whole family getting together is taking place after Christmas. So it's hard for me to get too excited yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, most of the fun of Christmas comes from the little ones, you know? They get so excited and they have so much fun with it. And having them around, and now that there's 4 of them, it's just, I can't wait till everybody's here.
First, let me say thanks to Zan for the dono. And thank you, Grisella, for the incredibly generous donation while we were off air. I'm not going to read the message because it was private, but thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
All righty, Jack. I said we were going to talk about pedos, and in that manner, the FBI decided to put out a video today.
Was it about how much they are hunting Americans and spying on us and letting pedos roam free?
This is the tweet that they tweeted out. In 2023, the FBI faced a growing and evolving threat spectrum. Yeah. The Bureau's employees remain fully focused on working with our partner agencies to carry out the FBI's mission to protect Americans and uphold the Constitution.
The Constitution of what country? Soviet Union?
Like, stop playing.
Their partner agencies? Are they talking about MI5?
No, Nambla. All
Yeah.
right. Probably get hit for this music.
The men and women of the FBI work tirelessly every day to protect the American people from what is really a staggering array of threats.
All right, well, let's discuss that for a minute. You guys stopped tracking a pedophile so that you could go after people who walked around the Capitol building. And in doing so, you let that pedophile go, and he later raped a 10-year-old boy. I don't think there's any. Can you guys point to something that makes that okay? The FBI needs to be disbanded. They need to be decommissioned. They need to go away. They are bad, bad people who make very bad decisions. And the only thing I ever see them do is fuck up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Historically, absolutely. They have a long track record of being fuck ups.
Now, here they got, this says 18,000 arrests, 9,000 indictments, 8,000 weapons seized. Somebody did a breakdown with this, with the 9,000 indictments, and with their budget, it comes to over $1 million per indictment.
That's ridiculous.
I want to say that again, over $1 million per indictment.
How many of those were American citizens that wandered around the Capitol?
These fucking idiots, man.
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Eagle. Says, Merry Christmas, Jack. I wish it could be more. Oh, dude, don't ever worry about that. The fact that you donated it all or you even watch the show is really what we are asking, is just watch the show. And I really appreciate that. And Merry Christmas to you and your family as well.
I want to go back just a second here. 8,000 weapons seized. How many of those do you think actually should have been seized?
Probably a tenth of that at most.
$43 million assets forfeited. Well,
stolen, you mean?
Yeah, that's when they do civil asset forfeiture. I'm sorry, that is wrong. That should be illegal as shit.
Yeah, because there's no convictions. They just suspect, air quotes, that it's drug related or in a crime, and they get to seize it. And same with the forfeitures and the seizures, it's basically the same thing. They just this is ours now, thanks, fuck off. Oh, you want it back? Oh, well, take us to court and spend 85 grand to do it,
and probably lose because of the loose way our laws are written.
Yeah, which is totally unconstitutional to me.
100%. You know, we're gonna turn off their stupid fucking music. Let's see what else we got. That was interesting. Hang on. Why are they zooming in on a picture of a FBI woman's ass with a teddy bear off to the side in a flak jacket?
It's probably some underager they dressed up, but they're going for the Charlie Day conspiracy thing, I think.
Can somebody explain what's supposed to be happening in this scene?
She's drawing the connections, man. She's a strong, independent woman that don't need no man, and she's like 12, and they're a bunch of perverts.
It looks like a setup in a kind of a career day kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's some sort of recruitment thing.
Yeah, I guess. Look, guys, feds. Hey, look, wait. Did you see that, Jack? He's got the Fed haircut from the meme.
Yeah, he does.
Look at how much they do. They're going into an empty building.
Probably to shoot some protesters.
750 FBI-led task force in communities. Well, that's great. How about you give the resources to those communities?
But FBI-led task forces, like the plan to kidnap Whitmer? Is that
yes. 12,000 drug seizures, Jack. And there's evidence for about 1,000 of those left. 2,000 kilos of fentanyl So almost enough for George Floyd's average weekend.
No, those are all from George Floyd.
Oh, look at that. 2,400 children located, which, by the way, most of those are just, they had to find the parent who stole the kid.
Or they were illegal immigrants that they're like, look what we found at the border.
Right.
Then they lost them again.
68 trafficking suspects identified in a single operation. Well, good for you.
Wait, it says identified, not arrested.
Not arrested, not prosecuted, not indicted. They just pointed to him and goes, hey, there's a trafficker we can use. A nice bomb disposal. I like that outfit. It looks like they're going to Mars.
Yeah. Do you think those child traffickers, they recruited them to work for the new Epstein?
Probably. But yeah, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing with your money. They're making stupid ass videos. 21 threat to life leads daily. 1.4 million tips processed. That doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. For anybody who thinks that means anything, all that means is somebody looked at it and went, yeah, we need to look at it, or no, we don't. You guys are fingerprints processed. Nobody cares. 83 million fingerprints in their repository. How many of those are fingerprints you should not have?
Yeah, or people buying guns.
Yep. But hey, we got it, you guys. We did it. We did it. I just want to say that I hate the FBI. I think they're dirty. I think they've always been dirty. I mean, their most notorious leader was a complete shitbag of a human who held our government hostage by blackmailing our leaders for literal decades. Literal decades. J. Edgar Hoover was shit, and if you think it's improved since then, you are naive, and I have bridges to sell.
Right.
Fuck them, and hopefully, like, whoever gets elected will actually pay a little bit of attention to Ramaswamy and get rid of those shitbags.
Yeah, I agree.
Dark Conservatarian, thank you so very much. Hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas, Monkey. You too, Jack. Well, you as well. I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Absolutely.
I don't celebrate the Christian Christmas, Jack. I celebrate the idea of the commercialized one where there's a Santa Claus and it's a big dinner and family and giving, and that's where it is for me. For those of you who are more religious with it, more power to you. I love this time of year. I like the idea of peace on earth and goodwill towards men. I don't think it happens very often, though.
No, that's why you wish for it, because it's pretty rare.
I was watching Mike Harlow's stream earlier tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was talking about, it was funny because he starts out by going, yeah, the other day I was in my closet. I'm like, I've been in the closet a long time. Stop it. He's in his closet, right? And he leans against the wall, and the wall gave way.
Was there a secret passage?
No. There was a safe behind it.
Oh, nice. What's in it?
He doesn't know because he doesn't have the combination for it.
So there's like a dozen channels on how to hack into a safe.
Well, here's the thing. The person who lived there before him left the country over being in trouble with the law.
Yeah, well, then he should have kept his fucking mouth shut, because there could be a mountain of money in there.
If I'm him, I get that thing open and I tell everybody it was empty.
I don't tell anyone it exists. I just go in there and get the loot out. It's probably empty, but still.
See, I don't think it would be empty. Why would you have it empty and then put the fake wall back up?
In case you decide to come back?
Maybe. I'm telling you, there's probably 100 kilos of coke in there. I don't know how big that is.
Well, I mean, see, if it were me, there would probably be a dead body in there, and then I'd cry. My house is haunted now.
The safe isn't big enough for a dead body. Maybe from the clavicle up, you could fit in there.
I don't know if you understand the phrase dismembered, but
You
It's
still couldn't.
possible.
You'd have to blend it to get it in there, and even then, it would have to be a small person.
Oh, it's not a very big safe. Oh, that's lame.
No, it's only maybe 2 foot by 2 foot.
Oh, weak. No, if you're gonna hide a
that's
safe, get a big fucking like gun safe, so and then put nothing in it, and then get a small safe where you put all your money.
no. See this safe. That's what I'm like. If you put the fake wall back, that's the part that gets me. There's a gun and some drugs and some money with blood on it in there.
Yeah, maybe some blackmail material. Or,
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's
ledgers.
where Epstein's client list is.
That's in the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
No, we're supposed to be getting that information. There's a court case going on, and was going on. It's being unsealed, and we're going to know the entire Epstein client list.
I heard they're redacting 5 names out of that, but they're going to release like 170 some.
Now, let's talk about that for a moment, Jack. Why would you need to redact the names on this list?
Because they're probably in positions of power or incredibly wealthy donors.
Yeah, that
Bill
would be my
Gates.
guess. Bill Gates. Yep. No. The one-time richest man in the world just flew on Epstein's jets because it was convenient. The fact that he had his own parked at the same place, it just happened.
These things just sort of happen. It's always a coincidence. Like when you meet somebody on the tarmac and discuss your grandkids and not the ongoing investigation into your wife.
Yeah. Bill Gates isn't driving from Seattle or wherever the fuck he lives down to like Boca Raton. His ass is flying there, and he's not doing it on commercial airlines. He was taking his own fucking jet. There's no reason for him to need to get onto Epstein's jet unless, he wants a little something. Emphasis on little.
Yeah. Something young and fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I found this really stupid person on Twitter today. Well, you were on Twitter, so.
There you go.
He complained that this year the House only passed 27 bills, much less than the usual 391. This is a lawyer who proudly says they prosecuted Trump University, so you can take a guess on their standpoint. Oh, yeah, there's nothing socialists love more than pointless legislation.
I saw people talking about that the other day, and I'm going to be honest, I've said this many times. I like when Congress isn't doing shit.
Yeah, the less they do, the better off we all are.
But everybody out there wants government to be their mommy and daddy. Like, please, daddy me harder. That's not what they're there for, shithead.
Well, when you raise a society of deadbeat freeloaders, this is what you get.
Well, I mean, that's what I was talking about with the millennial thing, man. So many people are brought up these days that government is supposed to take care of their problems. That's not what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be self-sufficient, shithead.
Well, when you're not trained, they're not trained to be self-sufficient.
No.
They're trained to be completely dependent on their parents and then the state.
Speaking of retards, I want to highlight this guy because I want to make a point, and it's gonna seem kind of like I'm part of the problem, and I am. I'll be honest. Lives at TikTok says, today in New York City, pro-Hamas protester says October 7th was the greatest day of my life, while another protester said it made her feel proud. Make them famous. Here's the thing, Jack. Usually when this kind of stuff happens, the person gets some shame or almost universal shame, right? Because it's somebody being racist or something that everybody's like, oh, no. When it comes to this shit, though, if this guy decided he wanted to become the next Hassan Piker, because of this, he could.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare times where signal boosting, you're actually signal boosting them to the people who would want to see them. And so I get what they're going for here. I just think that she missed on this one. Yeah, make him famous, but what you did is just get him a lot of fans. Here's the video itself, though. Let me get our volume back up. I don't remember how the volume is on this video.
Zionism is anti-Semitic. Hamas, long live the resistance. Yes.
Hamas, long live the resistance. I want to punch this dude in his face. And YouTube, I don't care if that makes you want to get me off here. This motherfucker, he does. He says that. Well,
Long live the resistance. One of the greatest days of my life.
October 7th, one of the greatest days of his life. I hope on the coming October 7th, he slips in the bathroom, the plunger goes up his ass, and he accidentally rips his nuts off on the toilet seat.
That's very specific.
I want that to be the greatest day of his life. I really do, because fuck this guy. He's being a little edgy boy. He's also he got a little bit of notoriety a few years back because he said that whiteness needs to go away in America, or will go away. And I read an article about it where they're like, well, what he was trying to say is that white people in America, people weren't white before America. America made whiteness to separate people, which, by the way, is fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's really, oh, wow.
The reason you didn't see it the way that you do in America is because there hasn't been a population as integrated as America. There's still not. There really isn't. And so you do have more people of different races coming together and going, oh, you're not the same color as me. But it's not like that's a brand new thing. Like, people have never been treated differently based on skin color before America was a thing.
Yeah, that's ridiculously stupid.
No, it's much better when they just did it based on how much money you had in the bank or how much land you owned. Yeah. And they certainly never treated, other people from other cultures as lesser than themselves, even if they were all white, Jack.
What? Looks at the Irish sideline.
Right? Lindsay, I did get the donation. For some reason, my screen won't load up. I will read it when it does, but it basically said Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the donation, Lindsay. There it is. Hey, Monk, I hope you and your family, especially your sweet grandbabies, have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, and to you as well.
Indeed.
All right, Jack. What else do I have going on today? I'm just so tired of these people being edgy and getting attention for it. That dude saying that, I mean, you can see it in his smug little face. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's going to get good attention for this. And I'm tired of these fucking assholes who, and the Israeli thing has been one of the worst because these guys are out there and there's enough people, how do I want to put this, who are already not necessarily anti-Semitic, but Jew questioning adjacent. How about that?
Yeah. One of my commie friends is like that. Like, he has no idea what he's talking about when he talks about the situation. He's like, the Palestinians, they live in a prison. They're just revolting. They have a right to push back. I said, oh, really? Raping women and murdering children is resistance?
Yeah.
That's just propaganda, man. That didn't actually happen.
Of course
okay,
not.
dude.
No. The people who, if you read their good book, actually tells you how to terrorize people, they would never do that. It's those horrible Jews who were minding their own fucking business until October 7th.
Yeah. Pointed out that in the past he's made statements that were anti-Semitic at best, and probably a little bit more leaning into the genocidal arena.
Oh,
and
nice.
He's like, I've never said that. I said, dude, yes, you have. And I pointed to some of his Facebook posts that's still up. And I was like, you just don't like Jewish people. And he's like, well, it's not because they're Jewish. And I was like, what is it then? Is it their ability to smell money? Because that was one of them that he posted, that they could smell money. I'm like, how are you not an anti-Semite? But
Right.
he just denies it. I'm like, no, man, you're an anti-Semite. So a lot of people just don't realize what they're saying sometimes.
Chris says, I questioned a Jew once. He gave me the answer. Also happened to be my math teacher. Well, there you go. Couple of, real quick, let me get these. Pumpkin Trucker, thanks you very much. He says, your hopes for his best day of his life is funny, as if he isn't used to something much larger than a plunger up his ass. Also, his balls are already detached. Just look in his wife's purse. I don't think that dude has a wife. I mean, he has a girl hanging on that. You know what the sad part is? That dude got laid for that.
Probably.
Yeah, he got because again, anything that mimics masculinity on the left, you're gonna get laid. For all you fucking pussy ass beta boys, I'm a male feminist. Stop doing that if you want to get laid. Was it it wasn't the final answer. Stop it, Faithless. Evolved Potato, that is quite generous. Thank you so very much. Dank the halls with balls of holly. You didn't put the fa la 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 la's in here. Am I supposed to sing those too? 'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our gay apparel. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus. And it says to Jack. I think it's supposed to be half to Jack. So thank you very much, Evolved Potato.
No, he's kicking it over to me because
Gotcha.
Evolved Potato, for that generous donation. Very generous. Follow me in merry measure while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Fast away the old year passes. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Sing we joyous all together, heedless of the wind and weather. That was really out of tune. I am not good at singing.
Fa la 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 la.
You know, that's the first time I ever made it that far in that song.
Yeah, I don't know that song. I mean, I know of the song, but I know like the first 3 lines of it, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all I ever hear, because then the radio gets the station changed. Because I like Christmas music, just never at Christmas time, because that's all there is on the radio. Also,
we have satellite radio, and you know what my wife listens to in the car? Christmas music. She puts it on a Christmas station starting like December 1st.
Eagle said, please stop, Jack. I know, right? I am bad at this.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh Holy Night.
Oh, I like Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Nope, too happy.
That's why I like it. I like to be happy.
I need something that sounds very dark. Like Oh Holy Night, it seems like a darker song than it is.
I don't know if I've paid attention to it. As long as it's not Christmas Shoes, whatever you pick as your favorite is awesome.
Oh, fucking Christmas Shoes. This song's stupid.
That song sucks so much. I'm glad that kid's mom died.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
He's a fictional kid. It's okay.
Yeah, see, I like a lot of Christmas music. It just depends on the singer, too. Like, I'm not a big fan of Mariah Carey because she tends to drag out the notes unnecessarily.
Oh, God, yes.
And I cannot stand that. Like, I would like her music a lot more if she wouldn't do that gospel sound. That just drives me up a fucking wall.
Whitney Houston is really to blame for that because she used to do it, and then Mariah comes up and it's like, look, it's almost like people who shred a guitar in a song where it really doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like, look what I can do. That's fine, but it doesn't belong here.
Yeah. Put that in a power ballad or something. It doesn't need to be in everything. So once or twice, that's it. Also, thank you, Lindsay, the Cynical Geek.
A few people have an issue with what I said.
It happens.
It's a fictional child. It's okay.
It's a fictional dead mom, too.
It's true.
It's just like Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I hate that song, too.
And I have a real dead mom, so it's okay for me to make jokes like that.
Let me grab this dono. Thank you, Lindsay, the Cynical Geek. Tossing some coinage at my favorite comic reviewer. Merry Christmas, Jack. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Not only for what you said, but for the dono as well. And Merry Christmas to you, too.
Yeah, well, I have songs that I like because I mentioned the other day that I really am still Pentatonic's Little Drummer Boy. I fucking love it. It's great. But overall, Walking in Winter Wonderland, I just like the upbeat sound of it. Speaking of upbeat, Jack, you want to watch a whore?
That's a real question or rhetorical?
That was a real question. We're going to do it either way.
I mean, who doesn't want to watch a whore? You either laugh at them or you jerk off to them. There's only two options there.
I'm actually kind of coming to the defense of the whore this time.
Well, we'll see how this plays out.
This is a clip from the Whatever podcast. And,
Whatever.
I'm just going to let it play and then we'll discuss.
So you're bored. Make this conversation less boring. Go ahead.
No, I got to stop him there. This is the first time I got irritated at this video.
We're just going to watch it. Oh, nope. 2 seconds in, we're stopping it.
Chris, thank you so much. It's Christmas, so have another donation to keep the lights on. Thank you for that feminist $12. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. So, Jack, I have a... what?
Eagle said my mom's been dead longer than your mom.
Wow. '89, motherfucker, represent. Yeah, I realized earlier today, Jack. I've lived more than 2/3 of my life without my mom. That was a depressing thought to have at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's kind of a downer.
Let's get back to the whore.
Now that you made
Apparently,
everyone sad.
hey, Eagle started it.
No, he didn't. You started
did.
it.
No,
Nope. You don't blame the audience.
I
Blame
do.
You. No,
I do.
no, it's too bad. It's your fault. I blame you.
So our little whore here apparently said that the conversation was boring, and the host is like, well, then make it interesting. That's really your job, dude.
Yeah, he's the host. I thought that was Brittany Venti at first.
It kind of looks like her, doesn't it? That's discount. That's dollar store Brittany Venti.
Yeah,
and you can find her on OnlyFans.
I'm sure you can.
The reason this one hit me like that, I've seen so many podcasts and stuff where they'll invite somebody on, and it'll be somebody that, and I've run into it myself, not with anybody I've been on in a long time, but many moons ago, like, hey, you want to come on the show? And I would, and they'd expect me basically to do my show on theirs.
Yeah. Amuse me.
Yeah.
Transform me, monkey boy.
If you invite somebody on, it's that's why oh shit, what's his name? I forgot his name. Used to do the vanilla streams. Fuck. Uzi's husband.
Irate Prostate,
thank you.
Yeah.
I used to love his streams when he'd have people on because he'd interview them.
Yeah, he had questions ready.
It was one of my favorite streams I ever went on. He was a great host.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was a very good interviewer, too. Asked follow-up questions.
And then didn't drag it out. When it was done, it was done. It was, and I had a great time when I was on there. And I used to tell people, yeah, if you get a chance to go on, go do it, because he was great at what he did. And then you have shit like this where, like, we'll go ahead and make it interesting. No, motherfucker, that is your job to make it interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Chris Gilroy, who says, and to Mr. Jack to keep the lights on too. Well, thank you for that feminist donation. Appreciate that, man.
Danger says it's Christmas Eve in Aussie. It's Christmas Eve here now too. I mean, in the entire continental United States now. As of like 3 minutes ago, Jack.
Yeah.
Hawaii and Alaska, not so much, but who cares about Hawaii and Alaska?
Well, Alaska's pretty cool. Part of that is probably in the right time zone to be Christmas Eve.
We all know that Canada is the real owner of that.
No.
Yes.
Fuck Canada. Alaska is our launching point for when we decide to take Canada.
Alaska is where we send people who are probably serial killers, and we don't want them in regular society.
Does Retro live in Canada, in Alaska?
I don't judge him for what he does in his spare time.
Well, I mean, look, there's some sexy Inuits up there.
I'm just going to offend everybody tonight.
Apparently. I'm defending Alaska because Alaska's pretty fucking awesome. Best purchase we ever got from the Russians.
Alaska's cold and barren.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's not that many people up there to annoy me.
I'm a giant
unexplored areas. Bigfoot lives up there with his Yeti cousin.
I am a city boy, and I do not want to have to travel the tundra to find a Walmart.
I don't know. There's probably 2 Walmarts in all of Alaska. I don't know.
My wife watches these people that live up there, and they go and they got like 8 kids for some reason, because all there is to do in Alaska is fuck.
Yeah, well, it's dark a lot, and you get a little saucy.
And they have to take like day trips to go to Walmart and buy like 8 baskets full of shit to bring home to save them until the next time they can, afford the gas.
Well, they get subsidies for because of the gas pipelines.
No, and I get it, and good for it. But I'm not no. I need more convenience in my life. I'm a spoiled child of the 70s, and I can admit it.
Well, at least you can admit it. No, I rarely leave the house if I don't have to. Like when I go over and help my parents, I end up staying an extra hour just because it's more convenient to sit there than it is to leave.
you know how annoyed I get? Like if my computer doesn't work right, I need instant gratification, Jack, and I can't be like, okay, I want to have pizza. I'm gonna have to travel the tundra to get one. No. I'm not riding any elk or any of that shit. Just give me nice paved roads and big shiny buildings and lots of shit I can buy.
No, there's liquid gold in them there hills. There's tons of resources up there. There's gold, there's oil, there's probably a bunch of untapped minerals up there that we haven't gotten to. Plus, there's like that one plane with the congressman in it that still hasn't been found. There's all kinds of cool, crazy shit up in Alaska. I wouldn't want to live there necessarily, but I could.
I
don't
not.
really have a problem with not leaving my house for days on end.
This is as far north as I ever want to go because it just gets colder and colder and colder until you get to Santa Claus's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they do get to see the Aurora Borealis and Santa Claus probably in the same day.
I've seen the Aurora before. It's pretty because we can see it here in Michigan quite often. Can you guys never see it? Do you have too much light pollution?
It's too much light pollution, and we've only seen it a couple of times because it's really difficult. I mean, Ohio just isn't that special. It's mostly just serial killers and dead presidents.
We sometimes have issues with seeing it just because of the amount of cloud cover where I live. With the lakes on each side of us, Michigan is covered in clouds a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think would be helped if we just nuked Canada. Anyway, back to our boring bitch here.
I'm waiting.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire, Brian?
Is that your best effort?
Wait, was that supposed to be an insult?
I think she was just cracking a joke.
Sure.
In any case, you're not particularly adding to the conversation. You've been disrespectful this entire time. You're entitled. You're rude. You have TikTok brain. You cannot stay focused. We've only been live for an hour and a half or so. I'm going to ask you to leave.
Only an hour and a half or so. For people who don't do this for a living, an hour and a half sitting chatting with somebody is a long time, a stranger especially.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get up, get the fuck out. On my Deadass podcast, bitch, you fucking do OnlyFans, you fucking degenerate. Good.
And that's why I wanted to highlight this, Jack. You invited her in. That's what the Whatever podcast is. They bring in a bunch of hoary women who are trying to push out their hoary stuff, and then they hope they get something stupid said from them because they're dumb whores, so that they can put the clip out online and get famous.
Yeah. And they're almost always rude. They're almost always disrespectful. And they're almost always OnlyFan whores.
You brought whores in. Why are you mad when they're acting like it?
Yeah. Plus, most of the women they talk to are vapid retards.
Yes.
Because that's why they're OnlyFan whores. Did you play that clip of the black dude?
No, and that one I do want to talk about because I have a much different take than most people on that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Look, what this guy did was basically just insulted all of their guests because they're all boring, vapid idiots who are just OnlyFan whores and have TikTok brain because they're young, stupid, foolish people. And that's their entire, shtick. I don't understand why he threw this girl out. Maybe something happened earlier in the show, or he's just being a bitch. I don't know.
No, I can tell you exactly what happened. It's because she said it was boring. He got offended.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Okay, now we will watch that other one. I wasn't planning to because I'd forgotten about it, but I do want to watch this one. So it's this gentleman right here, and he's gonna let this chick know what's what.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
He doesn't stop him for being rude.
Yeah. Well, she is offering value. It's just vaginal value, which is not that expensive.
Right?
What the fuck?
Don't worry, I'm not really talking to you. I'm speaking against you as a symbol.
A symbol of what?
A symbol of a declining society where people lack values.
This might be the wrong
So
one.
the point is this. If you had IQ and skills to offer to the marketplace, you
Gotcha.
can earn a good income. Being that the most valuable thing about you is something that you never earned. You didn't earn knowledge, you didn't earn skills. It's your breast that you paid for and your butthole. So you market that to earn money, which is to say, if I took your brain and placed your brain into a man's body, you would be in poverty.
I'm just good for nothing. Yep, you caught me.
No,
Okay, that's not the video I'm meant to watch. And then that guy's rude as fuck. I mean, he's not wrong about the OnlyFans folks that you're selling your body. That's not something earned, and it's not something men can do. Men can if you want to go into gay porn, I guess.
Yeah, probably not gonna poop right ever again, but
Yeah. I was watching Ron White, and in one of his specials, he talks about this. He was watching a video, and there was a male porn star talking. He says, "I'm not gay, but in order to make money, I have to do the gay porn." He says, "I was in a scene with 5 guys just the other day."
yeah, you're gay, dude. Just admit it.
Ron's joke there is, "You're gayer than I am," which there you go. But it is a truth about the porn industry. Men don't make it doesn't matter how well you're hung. This isn't the 70s where you can make a name as a male porn star unless you're actually doing gay porn.
Yeah, they're there for the women.
But anyway, this is the other clip is the one I wanted to get. This is the one that I have a disagreement with what other people were agree. Like, oh, he really told her.
would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not. No.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
Okay, Jack. Let's say, for argument's sake, that she's extremely proud of what she does.
Okay.
Why would she want her dad watching her get plowed, even if she was proud of the work she was doing?
So her dad could get enjoyment out of it too. I don't know, dude. There's nothing in there that doesn't make that creepy.
This is a fucking retarded argument to me. Oh, see, you're ashamed of it. No, people just don't want their parents watching them have sex, and if you do, you're fucking weird.
Yeah. And then your dad probably already saw you have sex when he was doing it to you.
Right. I am not ashamed of having sex with my wife, but I wouldn't want my parents watching it.
Or your kids.
Or yeah, anybody. Don't watch me have sex. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
But especially,
creepy.
I mean, he makes it sound like, hey, if you're not ashamed of it, you'd want your parents watching it. There's a lot of shit that I've done that I'd have no shame in that I wouldn't want my parents involved in.
Yeah, like they might be aware of it, but they don't need to see it.
So many people were cheering this guy on, and it's one of those situations where if you actually think about it, I get it, he's telling her, say you're ashamed. She could be quite proud of it and still not want her dad to see her grown-up vagina. I hate people like this. Guys like this give guys a bad name because he's retarded. And he just says it emphatically so people, yeah, get her. What he said is fucking retarded. Just throwing that out there. See, I told you I had a different take than most people, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Because most people are like, yeah, get him. Get that dumb whore. Fuck that guy. Maybe his mom does watch him have sex. I don't know. But she shouldn't, you fucking creep. Anyway, Jack, let's move along, shall we?
Yeah, let me just say, I'm all for shaming whores.
Sure.
But to leave the parents out of it.
Yeah, there's other ways you can do that. You know what I mean? The idea that, again, if she's proud of it, I wouldn't want my daughter doing porn, Jack. And if I found out she was, even if she was very proud of it, I'd be like, you know what, baby, that's you and your thing. I'm not even I'm gonna bleach my memory of that one.
We will never discuss this again.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's asinine. Anyway, Jack Posobiec got swatted today.
His parents got
His
swatted.
parents. Sorry, yeah. And the post millennial kind of tried to tie it to the DeSantis campaign.
I saw a few people on Twitter doing that as well. I don't know if it was because of the post millennial article or if this is some independent. Because I guess he said something about DeSantis recently.
Well, there was this actually comes down to a poll that was done the other day that showed that Tim Pool and Jack Posobiec aren't very well known, and those two took it very, very, very hardly. Very harsh. It hurt their feelings.
You said hardly.
I did. Because they're both gay.
They got raging clothes.
I'm just saying Tim Pool would know what to do with 5 dicks. But
is one of them under his beanie?
Yes. Well, the poll was done by a guy or by a group that is run by a guy who used to work for a super PAC that supports DeSantis.
Oh, that's the tie. Okay.
Yeah. And so they're like, see, and like that has nothing to do with it.
That's pretty tenuous at best.
Do you think anybody swatted Jack's parents because a story came out saying he was irrelevant?
I would think not. But people are kind of crazy. So
the same place, and I forget the name of it. They're the ones that did the poll the other day that showed Nikki Haley actually has a chance of beating Trump in New Hampshire.
Sure, she does.
Oh, she has a chance. She really does. Because she's concentrating a lot of her time there, and so is Chris Christie. And winning New Hampshire's not that hard to do.
It's also not that important. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Shio. Name my Christmas tree Amy Winehouse because it's gonna die and leave needles all over the place. Wow.
Shio, you are a comedic genius, dude.
It's not wrong either. That's a really good name.
I'm totally stealing that joke later. I'm gonna tell that's my dad.
I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, when it comes to the Posobiec thing, all joking and stuff aside, that's fucked up to be swatting people at all. And we really need to have laws against this shit. Like serious jail time for that crap.
Yeah, it needs to be treated like attempted murder or murder for hire.
Somebody suggested 10 years, and I think it was Posobiec. It was like, that's too little. No, 10 years is fine. As long as we have, no time off for good behavior.
Yeah, and as long as if somebody gets killed, then you add more time.
If somebody gets killed, you're guilty of murder.
Yeah, murder for hire in a way. That's what I would try and compare it to.
Their actions caused the death, so
yeah,
you get to go away for the rest of your life, and nobody has to deal with your ass again. But anyway, at that story, that's fucked up. Don't swat people. God damn.
Especially somebody's parents. What are you? 5? You're going after their parents? How middle school of you, child?
It's our Christmas Eve show.
Parents.
It's our Christmas Eve show. So let's watch something a little more fun. This video made me laugh so hard.
Oh, you're gonna watch about Hermie and his gay dentistry?
We're watching the squirrel.
Oh God.
I love this video.
Oh, it's hilarious, but I fucking hate squirrels.
Squirrel has faked.
Plus, I love the way that the Aussies say squirrel.
Yeah. Do they have real squirrels, or is this some sort of mutant super squirrel? Because it's Australia.
I don't know, but it is a black squirrel, which you don't see that often up here.
Yeah, I really don't see those very often.
Hey, Aussies, do you have
squirrels?
And then even staged a crime scene. All right, so in a clip that's gone viral, the rodent knocks over a broom. When it fails to land in a convincing position, the squirrel has a bit of a rethink, a forward roll, so it ends up under the broom. It's pretty convincing for a devastating murder scene. And hang on, final flourish.
That is perfect. That's not the first time he's done that.
No, not at all. He's probably trained to do that.
He's freaking adorable, man.
Oh, Assassin said this is a flying squirrel.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, look at the spread under his arms. I've seen several dead squirrels, This is definitely a flying squirrel of some kind.
He looks like a regular squirrel got run over.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're looking at his underbelly, and having him run over would be much more enjoyable for me.
For you, indeed. Yes, yes.
Fucking hate
Well, yeah,
this.
there's our little squirrel. If anybody wants to watch it, there's like 10 seconds left of it, but it's just him laying there. And the Aussies talking really loudly over it and saying squirrel. I can't even say it the way that Aussies, why do you talk so funny?
That's adorable. What are you talking about? Oh,
Is
it's a
that just-
sugar glider. Is that a sugar glider? That doesn't look like a sugar glider.
It kind of looks like it's a pet too. They got a pet squirrel.
Yeah, you can train them.
It's a squirrel though. I'd be afraid of getting bit. They can bite hard, man.
They can bite hard, and they carry rabies and plague and God knows what else. They're just little vermin things. They're rats with cuter tails.
Since we're on animals, let me tell you a story. So this last week, my daughter was out of town for a few days, and this is one of the reasons my schedule's been off, Jack. We had their puppies. They have 2 dogs. And they have somebody who watches their house, but with the dogs, you know, they need more constant care. So they come and stay with us. And Phoebe's not a fan. But they're all 3 upstairs laying down. And Phoebe's laying on one of the dining room chairs, and the dogs are in the living room. And Phoebe decides she wants to go downstairs, and she jumps down and starts walking towards the stairs. Well, that wakes up the bigger of the 2 dogs. And it startled him, and it's his first night there. And the first night when they stay with us is always just a little bit rough for him because he's not used to all the sounds around us.
Yeah.
Well, he hears this, and he jumps up and starts barking and heading for the door, which is down the stairs.
Uh-oh.
That wakes up the other dog, who also jumps up, starts barking, and running down the stairs. So in Phoebe's mind, there's these 2 giant dogs running after her.
So to Phoebe, that was the Raiders Lost Ark scene with the boulder?
Yes. She spent the whole rest of the time behind the baby gate where they can't get her. For 2 days, she stayed in the hallway down where I'm at with my bedroom, my office, and the bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, those dogs are going to kill me. They tried to kill me. Phoebe lost one of her lives, I'm pretty sure, that day. Poor thing. Just the timing on it. Yeah, she was fucking petrified. White people are doing it again, Jack.
They always are, aren't they?
And
Damn
actually,
you, whitey!
and I'm being serious this time. There's a big push. Menthol cigarettes are supposed to be being banned soon, Jack.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. They already got rid of the flavor vapes. Now they're coming for the menthol. Why are they banning everything that people like? Oh, yeah, because they hate us.
The funny part of it is they're not even pretending why they're doing it. It's to get black people to stop smoking. And I'm not kidding, guys. I can bring up the article, and you guys can actually see it, where they talk about we need to stop it because let's see this one. The black people are smoking the menthols, don't you see? And so we got to get rid of the menthol so the dark people don't smoke.
Well, menthols were originally aimed at women, weren't they?
I'm not sure, but they are really big in the black community.
Yeah, why don't they want black people to enjoy a nice, flavorful cigarette?
Yeah, why are you guys going after something black people like? You're literally going, we got to take this away from black people.
They already took away Aunt Jemima and what, Uncle Ben?
Yeah.
Why you want to take the last remaining thing that you make syntax money off of?
For the record, I smoke menthol, Jack. I have how I started smoking way back when I was like 14. And when we'd go to the local store that didn't card you, we would buy menthols. You know why? Because if you went to a party and somebody said, hey, you got a cigarette, and you pulled out a menthol pack, they'd be like, oh, never mind. You pull out a pack of Marlboro Reds at a high school party or a junior high party back then. And yes, guys, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you pull out a pack of Marlboro Reds and that motherfucker would be empty. Because everybody would be bumming one. They taste like shit. Have a menthol. It's better for you. Taste-wise. Not health-wise. Just, I'm not a doctor. But seriously, they are a smart strategy. Yeah, my brother came up with that one. And so we would always have the menthols. But they're literally doing this because they want to take it away from black people.
That's fucking
How
racist.
fucked up is that?
Yeah. Well, like Eagle said, they make marijuana legal, but now they're going to ban cigarettes.
Mhm.
Makes no sense. I guess they replaced the tax revenue by legalizing weed, so now they can just do what they wanted to do 20 years ago with cigarettes.
Yeah, so sorry, dark people. They're saving you from yourself again.
Yeah, from your freedom of choice.
That's right. I smoke pipe tobacco. Yeah, exactly, man. I smoked pipe tobacco. That can still be flavored. The only difference between pipe tobacco and cigarette tobacco is the cut and how dry it is. They smoke the same. So
I believe it's pronounced tobacco.
tobacco, the wacky tobacco. No, that's Snoop Dogg. All right. Jack, on the screen here is a picture of Nikki Haley's house. Did you see this story?
Yeah, the mansion. Yeah.
Little Miss Woman of the People here, she did quite well for herself. She has a $2.4 million home on an island in South Carolina. This is a chick who comes out of working government, not poor, but not rich enough to be buying a $2.4 million home. But then she goes to work for Boeing. Whoops. And suddenly, you know, off your dead sons and daughters, man, she has got herself a nice place.
Well, look, blood money gets nice houses, I suppose.
It really does. It really does. My problem, though, you see this house? This house only has 4 bedrooms in it.
Oh yeah, a lot of those McMansions are shockingly small. Like they have some big open rooms, like living room, dining room.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Those are on this. Here's one of the bedrooms, but here's the one of the sitting rooms.
Yeah,
that is way too much space.
No, I hate those open floor designs too. I really do. My parents watched the walkthroughs of these mansions, and all the newer ones. It's just it's a big giant gymnasium. If you took all the furniture out.
Yeah.
The bedrooms all look the same, but
do they have?
I just don't like that open room design. Mostly because, you know, tactically, if you're trying to, like, somebody breaks in to rob you, they're going to see you immediately and shoot you.
This one doesn't have the really good picture of the pool. This is a giant fucking pool out back. Well, good for her. I'm glad that capitalism and killing our sons and daughters is paid off for her.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying.
Good. Must be a good gig.
Dr. Gay, we haven't talked about her for a little bit. She's the chick from Harvard, Jack. She's got into a little bit of trouble because people have noticed that she's a plagiarizing shithead.
Yeah, apparently she did a lot of it.
Revealed Harvard cleared Claudine Gay of plagiarism before investigating her.
Well, why would they want to investigate? She's a black woman named Gay.
And she is gay. Yes, she is.
Oh.
And its lawyers falsely claimed that her work was properly cited.
Yeah,
they actually threatened the Post.
Oh, please do that lawsuit.
They threatened the New York Post reaches out to them and they send them a letter saying, this is bullshit. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. And threatened to sue them. And the Post is like, we're going to print it anyway. And they did.
Yeah.
And this is a woman, we talked about her the other night, Jack. She plagiarized her thank yous. She thanks her. Was she the one thanking her parents, or was it somebody? She's thanking personal people, not somebody who actually wrote anything. It's not like a part of the bibliography. It's just the acknowledgments.
Yeah.
She plagiarized acknowledgments.
That's pathetic. I mean, in all honesty, that is the laziest thing I've ever heard, because you know how easy it is to thank somebody that you know and like.
I know.
I want to thank this person for all the support they gave me. That's it. It's not that complicated.
Since you mentioned lazy, I put Phoebe on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't understand how Harvard is still standing by this woman. It's come out. She's been caught with over 40 instances of plagiarism. And one of Harvard's excuses for this is, well, the people she plagiarized aren't mad. That doesn't make it not plagiarism.
What was the super creative thing they said? It was like accidental misquote or some bullshit like that.
Well, that's the thing. In a lot of cases, it really is. If she'd have just put quotation marks on it, she'd have been fine.
Yeah, but then you have to have so much of your own work in a dissertation. So attributing it isn't enough. She had to have more than just a book of quotes.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, in the one example that I saw, I don't remember it exactly, but it would be like me going, and Jack said that 50 is more than 100, which he was just wrong. But you saying 50 is more than 100 was actually a quote, and I didn't put it in quotes.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm paraphrasing what you said rather than quoting you. I mean, it's little shit like that. She could have fixed it. It literally would have taken two clicks of her keyboard to not be plagiarizing somebody. But instead, she presents it as her own.
Yeah, because she didn't want to footnote it. She had to have a percentage of it that is her original work and ideas.
I'm sorry, Rodline. Thank you so much. He says she's so bad she actually plagiarized Joe Biden.
Huh. Can you plagiarize a plagiarist?
I don't know if you can. It's plagiarception.
I liked the article Babylon Bee put out where she came out and in her apology gave an "I have a dream" speech.
Nice. What was this one? Oh yeah. Department of Justice is blocking Hunter Biden prosecutors from discussing the case with Congress.
You know, of course they are.
That's what you do.
Yeah, nothing to hide here.
No, nothing to see at all. Don't care about that. Jack, did you see the picture of the White House press corps?
Yes, and it's exactly what you'd think.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who are the mouthpiece for the President of the United States. Let's get them their full glory. There we go.
Ugh.
There's no testosterone in this picture.
Oh, this is reducing everyone's testosterone that's looking at this picture.
I get they're making it. I don't care about their posing. They're doing a little silly holiday thing. That's not it. If you just look at them, though, there's so much soy here.
This is the kind of beta weakness that you would expect from the White House press corps.
You ever watch the show Double Dare?
Oh yeah, with was Mark Hansen?
Mark something, yeah.
Mark Summers.
Summers, there you go.
Yeah, Mark Hansen wrote Ralph Snart Adventures. My bad.
Do you remember when they used to do the stuff where they'd have something that looked like food and he'd point out that it's not food, it's soy because nobody eats that shit?
Yeah, yeah.
What a difference a few decades make, huh?
Yeah, sad.
Now that shit is everywhere.
Yeah, and I think that it's very evident.
It really is. It really is. There's other stuff that's been going on. Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to bring up?
Did you see that Texas has started flying migrants from the border to Chicago?
Although I don't. Are you talking about the Ashley St. Clair thing?
No.
Okay, good. Because hers, that's the feds doing it.
Yeah.
That is part of a program that's been going on for quite a while. For all the bullshit and whining about how DeSantis and Abbott were sending people elsewhere, the feds were already doing that.
Oh, they'd been doing that for years.
They were just sending them to places that weren't as inconvenient as like Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
Or straight into New York City. But no, where's Abbott sending them?
To Chicago specifically, because apparently, one of the buses that got sent to Chicago got impounded by the Chicago police. So what he did, and they're threatening to impound more buses. So he chartered a plane and sent 120 migrants up to the Chicago airport, and was like, "Here you go, impound our buses. We'll just get planes."
What is the rationale for impounding the bus?
They don't want any more migrants from Texas. They're pissing and moaning about it.
No, and yeah, we've watched the Chicago mayor whine about that on one of the recent shows. I'm just wondering the legal justification for doing it. You can't just go, hey, we don't want illegals here, so we're taking your bus.
I believe I've already made clear that Chicago PD doesn't really care about civil rights that much.
Yeah, law in Chicago's a suggestion.
Whatever's paid for. Yeah, it's a guideline, not a rule.
Yeah.
So bus operators, according to the AP, are facing tougher penalties in Chicago for not unloading new arrivals at a designated location or failing to fill out city paperwork. That's the justification, is you don't have the right papers. Papers, please.
Papers, please.
Which I've never heard of, like a Greyhound having to do that.
No, me neither. I understand it sucks for Chicago, but I'm really tired of all this nonsense from these fucking liberal cities who are touting their sanctuary status in 2015. They loved, hey, the illegals are great. Stop calling them illegals. They're people. And now they're having to deal with the problem themselves. They're like, we shouldn't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
The Chicago mayor actually said Abbott was attacking the country by moving them around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all well and good to say you support something when you don't actually have to deal with it. But then when you actually have to deal with it, you don't get a piss and moan about it.
Right.
It's pathetic. And Chicago cracking down on these poor bus drivers or the companies they work for by impounding their buses. That's disgusting. Grow up. You're the sanctuary city. Deal with the problem. You're supposed to be a sanctuary.
You want to hear a group of post-grad, master's, PhD go full rant? Bring Gay's name. The standards are so freaking strict. Their papers would be returned to them and questions if should be there. Believe it or not, there's quite a bit of plagiarism that goes on in academia because most people don't read dissertations. If you go to college and you wrote a dissertation, maybe your professor or actually probably their underling read it. And then it goes into a dusty pile that nobody's ever going to pick up again unless you do something that makes people go digging into your academic life. So while it happens and it shouldn't, I'm not excusing it, Jack. I'm just pointing out it happens a lot. And when it does get caught like this in such a major way, it needs to be punished and punished harshly. Otherwise, people will keep doing it. Jack, do you think everybody needs to write a dissertation?
No, but it's one of those things now where they're so used to making people do it that everybody has to do it. And all it does is fill up library shelves because why not?
And if you look at what a lot of these people write, they're really stupid.
Quite a few of them are. I mean, you have to pick a topic that is able to be researched.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to actually sit down and do it. And it's a lot of work. I know a couple people that have gone through various grad programs.
And yeah, I'm not knocking them. It is a lot of work.
If you're doing it legitimately.
Yes. I just think a lot of times it is just for the exercise more than actually accomplishing anything.
Oh, yeah, because very frequently they have an entire semester to do it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work, but that's if you're lazy or you want to cut corners, then you just go copy somebody else. And I've read some of them. Some of them are interesting, but most of the stuff is just stuff nobody cares about. Yep. It's so niche or nuanced that it means nothing. I helped a guy do research one time for a book he was writing, or a dissertation he did on the Jersey Devil. And I was like, what is this for? He's like, I'm a folklore grad student. Like, you have to write a dissertation and you're a folklorist? What are you going to do with that?
This guy's getting a degree in a PhD in folklore?
Yeah. Know what he does now? Yeah, nothing. I have no idea. Walmart? The guy disappeared off the planet. Like, I'm pretty sure he works at Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you either get hired to teach folklore and mythology, or you're unemployable because you just wasted a ton of money on that.
A friend of mine
probably had $100,000 dumped into that degree.
A friend of mine, the nerdiest guy I've ever met in my life, and I mean that sincerely. And that's not an exaggeration. Take the most nerdy nerd you've ever seen in a movie and multiply it by about 10, and that's him. He actually laughed like, like, oh, Jeff, please stop that. He has a PhD in Latin. I'm like,
Nice.
oh, so you're going to be a Latin teacher.
Yeah, that's about either that or an occultist. Like, what are you going to worship? Like, you going to summon demons? What are you doing with that?
So yeah, he Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, he actually kind of did look like Napoleon Dynamite, but Napoleon is a lot more masculine than he was.
Wow.
Really good guy. I love him to death, but yeah, he was a fucking huge nerd, and he got a PhD in Latin. Like, dude, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? And yeah, he's a Latin professor somewhere now.
Well,
because there's nothing else you can do with a degree in Latin.
Yeah, my Latin teacher was really funny. This little Jewish dude. He got all my jokes.
Nice.
Like, he used to give us bonus questions, and they were the adventures of Xena Warrior Princess. Like, she fought an evil ostrich one time. He's such a dork. I failed his class like 3 times.
Rodline says he knows your friend. He says, I know that guy. He got promoted from burgers to salting the fries.
That sounds right.
We have back-to-back. Latin is pretty cool and Latin is useless. Latin actually is useful. Latin is the root of pretty much all Western languages, the Romantic languages.
Yeah.
Italian, English, French, German. Is Russian one of them?
No,
Spanish?
I don't think so.
If you know anything about the other languages, you can kind of pick up on quite a few words because they overlap so much. You know what I like doing, Jack? I like reading packages that have stuff in English and then like Spanish and figuring out which word corresponds where.
They never say biblioteca.
They don't say biblioteca because they're rarely telling you to go to the library. Can I bring up something? I need your opinion on this because my wife just kind of rolled her eyes at me.
Oh, okay.
She's
a smart lady, so.
Well, it's Christmas time, and we're listening to the radio, and the song Feliz Navidad comes on.
Okay.
I like the song Feliz Navidad, but it bothers me. And here's why. Because in the Spanish part of it, it says, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a prosperous New Year. Right? That's what it translates to. The English part of it says, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I feel like they should, if you're going to do that, the Feliz Navidad, and instead of wishing me a Prospero New Year, shouldn't that be saying from the bottom of my heart in Spanish?
No. First of all, I don't know why you're talking about Prospero.
Prosperous.
You said Prospero instead of prosperous. I caught that.
German is not a Romance language. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway.
English is derived from Latin and German combined, just so you know.
English is just a mishmash of everything because they've been invaded by everyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's why it's such a great language. No, I think you're allowed to make it a little different. They're just mixing it up a little bit. And maybe they don't care from the bottom of their heart in Spanish, but they do want you to have a good New Year.
I just feel like the English should be a direct translation of the Spanish part. And why do the English people get screwed on the Happy New Year?
Well, no, they just don't want to wish the English speakers a Happy New Year because it's from the bottom of their heart.
They dude, when I said Prospero, that's because that's the lyric of the song. Prospero año y felicidad.
I don't speak
Spanish, I just realized where you picked up why you thought I said that. Okay.
You did say it.
I did because it's the lyric of the song.
And I thought of Prospero.
Anyway.
She's a very nice lady.
You're fucking with my brain because sometimes I do say the wrong word. And that time I was right and you messed with me.
I know. It was a lot of fun too. And I'll do it again.
Is anybody with me on how that should be a direct translation?
No, it doesn't have to be. I'm sure there's changes in Living La Vida Loca too.
I'm not sure that's true.
I don't know. I don't care. First of all, I don't really care for the song.
In Living La Vida Loca, I mean, he never says living the crazy life later. You know what I mean? It's not like he tries to translate that anywhere. Feliz Navidad translates to Merry Christmas. And I just feel like it should be a translation.
I don't know. I think that they can have their own little extra line or different line. I don't think it's a big deal. I just don't care.
See, these are the little things that bug me. I don't care about it enough to like start a war over it, but it's things that irritate me.
When I start hearing that song, I just change the channel because it's not a song I particularly like. I don't like when they
happiness.
No, I don't like mixed languages. I find it generally annoying, and that song I find his voice grating.
Oh, I love that song. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs, but it bothers me that it's not a direct translation.
I think that's a bit weird, but I'm sure there's some symmetry to it that bothers you, like when you're flipping the light switch 3 times so Charlie doesn't die.
Well, in my house you have to do it. In my house you have to do it 4 times.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't want Charlie dying.
And no, Rodline, that's part of it too, where he says I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. The Spanish part of it, he just says Merry Christmas. It's just Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
See, I always took that song as not being like 2 separate things. I took it as somebody speaking Spanglish. So he's not necessarily translating Merry Christmas. He's just like saying it. You've talked to people that speak in Spanglish, right? Where they just insert random foreign word.
It translates to prosperous year and happiness. Yeah. I know what it translates to, but it doesn't. It should be in the song. That's all I'm saying. I understand what it says, but people who have no idea what the Spanish words mean, they don't know what that means. They don't know that as English speakers, they're getting gypped out of a prosperous new year.
When I was a kid, I thought they were just singing a song to a guy named Feliz Navidad, which I also thought he was Jewish for like 2 years. It's like David,
no, that's Felice Goldstein.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, I don't care about this like weird long distance dedication song where he's wishing his friend Merry Christmas.
Now I need a Christmas song called Felice Goldstein.
Mary Goldstein, yeah.
It's all about a guy who goes and buys shoes for his dead mom, but he will only pay half price.
Well, you just want a good deal. I get that. Saving money is important. Real fast, though, speaking of money, thank you, Evolved Potato. I have some good news for all the anime fans of the chat. They're getting rid of the translation and bringing in AI. Oh, they're getting rid of the translators and bringing in AI. This is great because too many of the translators changed the text and inserted their politics and memes. Good riddance to those cretins. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be like a literal translation, that's definitely a step up. But I don't trust AI, so it might be telling you lies.
Yeah, probably. Everything lies. Dr. House taught me that. These are those things, Jack, that get into my brain and I can't get them out. And it
happens.
I spend days thinking about things like that song. Like, why do things how I want them done?
I don't think that's how the world works.
I might have control issues.
Maybe a little bit. A little bit.
You know what it is?
Okay. A lot of people do know.
You know what it is? It's the little bit of control I have in my life is how I want things.
Is your psychic control over music?
Yes.
Oh. Well, fair enough then.
I'm going to make things happen. My Chargers played tonight, Jack. And by played, I mean they lost. Because of course they did. It's a hard year to be a Chargers fan.
They really are like the Bad News Bears, aren't they?
No, because the Bad News Bears eventually win in sequels, man.
In the sequels.
The Chargers don't. It's so hard. They were doing really well at the beginning of the game, and then they lost. And the final play was just. It's one of those plays that's going to be on a sports highlight reel. The ball switches hands like 8 times, and they still only made it 10 yards.
Are they like the GOP where they're afraid of winning, so they just purposely sabotage themselves?
They keep hiring bad people. Yeah, let me ask you this. Because there's a whole bunch of people right now convinced that Donald Trump is going to hire Nikki Haley as VP. And CBS ran a story about it today that had everybody talking. And there were a whole bunch of Trumpian fans who were like, if he hires her, I'm not going to vote for him. Do you think anybody on the Trump train right now would actually not vote for Haley if she was not vote for Trump if Haley's VP?
I think there are a lot that would not vote for him.
I don't
not a high percentage or anything, but I think there's a significant number of people that would see that as selling out because she is just the swamp embodied. She is the rhino that everybody was worried Pence would be.
But I think their loyalty to Trump and this is just the whole team sports thing, their loyalty to Trump will trump it.
Oh, I hope you're right, but hopefully he won't make that mistake and he'll pick Ramaswamy.
Well, here's the thing, and this is why I bring it up. In my opinion, Trump's biggest issue when he was president was who he hired. Because he comes from outside of politics. He doesn't know all of these people. And so he was taking suggestions from your standard conservatives in Washington. It's how we get Bolton. It's how we get Sessions. It's how we get Ray. It's how we got Haley. So you have all these people that were bad picks. And I haven't seen anything from Trump that suggests if he's elected again, that that's going to be any better. Because like now, I mean, he's out there trumpeting people like Laura Loomer, for fuck's sake.
Well, he's big on loyalty. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people he won't hire and won't trust. Like people that suggested some of those other ones previously, but if he starts trusting Laura Loomer's judgment, we might be in some trouble.
Yeah, and it makes me worry. I have the same worry with Ramaswamy because Ramaswamy doesn't. You have to have so many departments filled, come in and make all of these suggestions for who should run it, and you don't know any of them.
Yeah.
Now, I told you that when Roaming Millennial, Lauren Chen, interviewed Ramaswamy, I asked a question and it got asked. And my question was that, how are you going to deal with the fact that you don't know any of these people? And that was months ago. And he said at that time he was working on looking at who should be where. But he's also out there campaigning. How much time can he really spend doing that?
That's a good question.
And it's a sucky part of coming from the outside world. Our political system's almost built so you have to be part of it to be effective in any way. That's like a catch-22 with an albatross around it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we read this story that the whole albatross thing came from in English class, and my teacher's like, "This is where the albatross around your neck comes from." Like, I've never heard that phrase before.
Is that from Rime of the Ancient Mariner?
I think so. I don't remember. It's been a long time. It's just one of those moments in my life where my teacher said something like, I've never heard that before. And I felt kind of stupid because everybody else in class apparently had, or they were faking it better than I was. Because I was like, that's not something I've ever heard.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. At that point, and I was like 13 at the time. I was 13. When the fuck did I need to know about having an albatross around my neck?
Oh, that's true.
Eagle says you're not wrong, and it's depressing. It really is. And you know what the biggest problem is that our government is so bloated that it's almost impossible to come in, especially from the outside, and know who all you want to fill these positions with.
Yeah. Well, I think most people from outside would have that issue. I even worry that like DeSantis would have that problem.
He would. And DeSantis has a little bit of a heads up on that, having been a congressman and now been a governor and inside the system for quite a while. But you go back to Washington. Washington had what, 5 departments under him? Something like that. And now we've got the Department of Booger Picking.
Well, if we eliminated a bunch of those departments, this wouldn't be such a big deal.
It wouldn't. It's a self-fulfilling bureaucracy.
Yes, and that's how bureaucracies always end up, is they support the bureaucracy, not anything else. It's
And Evolve said, to be fair, Vivek would get rid of a lot of the departments, and that's true. But you're still talking about a quarter of the government that he's leaving, which is still a ton. And at least in the interim, until he can get those departments out of there, you got to have somebody running them.
Yeah, because you're going to get pushback on every single thing, and there's going to be legal challenges.
Yep.
All sorts of paperwork going through that till they can actually get rid of them. You're not going to be able to get rid of most of those with just an executive order.
Please understand, I don't blame Trump for this. It's not his fault that the system's that way or that he trusted people that he shouldn't.
He didn't have a choice.
No. And you would think that those people were on his team and wanting to get stuff done, and instead they're just your standard bureaucratic pieces of shit.
Yeah. I blame Lindsey Graham and people like him because they're the type of swamp creature losers that make everything more complicated because they don't like change and they do like power.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. They're the kind who are like, we should compromise and get somebody on the Supreme Court that the Democrats like. Yeah, because that's the right way to go.
Yeah, well, they don't want to win. So the Republicans are they're in love with losing.
See, I don't even necessarily think that that they like losing. I don't think they do. I think that they like the press. They want to be loved so much that they're willing to sell out everything. Just please don't say mean stuff to me. They're such puss. They're just cowards. See,
I agree. They're cowards.
I think you give them too much credit by saying they don't want to win, because then they're actually getting what they want. I think they want to win, and they're just cowards, and that's why they lose.
Oh, I honestly, to the point, I don't think they give a shit either way. I think they're just that big of pussies.
I think they want to win for the money in it. Look at Haley, man. She was a governor of South Carolina, and then 2 years as an ambassador. Now she's a multimillionaire.
Yeah, but she made that money outside of politics, other than like insider trading and stuff.
But that's the thing. You get in there and you get your name out there, and then you get to go sit on a board where you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And, you know, everybody talks about how Hunter Biden had no business in Burisma. What the fuck business did she have in Boeing?
Yeah.
That stuff happens all the time.
My favorite are the speaker fees.
Mm-hmm.
They toss you a big pile of money to come out and give a 20-minute speech, and it's really just to buy influence.
Yeah.
But they're disguising it.
You want to know if a politician is going to run again? See if they do speaking engagements between elections. They'll be doing speaking engagements if they're going to run again, because they want that money, and those people want that influence. We gave you money to come talk to. Look at Obama, man. That motherfucker's gotten very wealthy off of speeches.
Yeah.
And his little gay Netflix cartoon. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, stupid.
What's the name of that stupid Netflix show for kids? Somebody help me. I saw it again today. There was a toy I saw, oddly enough, in the frozen food section. Somebody dropped it off there. But it's the number one show for toddlers on Netflix.
Is that Tutu Lemon or something?
It's something lemon. Cocoa Lemon.
Cocoa Lemon. Okay.
Or Cocoa Melon. Cocoa Melon. Thank you, Cannibalistic. It's Cocoa Melon. And they had an episode recently where they got together to do a gay wedding in a toddler's TV show.
Yeah. Well, did you see that clip going around of the 2 gay dads celebrating the little boy dressed in the tutu?
Yep. And singing a song about just be yourself. Whatever yourself is.
And that's how the kid got monkeypox.
Yeah, no shit. I wonder about those parents, just let them be who they are. What if they're a pothead? What if they're a heroin addict? What if they're a prostitute at
Yeah.
10? I mean,
Well, these days you never know.
at what point do you step up and go, I'm going to be your parent?
Oh no, parenting is wrong. You just have to make sure the kid doesn't get hurt in any way, shape, or form, emotionally or physically, and then give them whatever they want and be their friend.
No, there's times you have to look at your child and go, stop it. Just stop. You leave potheads and prostitutes out of this. Look, if you want to smoke pot and you're an adult, I don't give a shit. I really don't, and I don't care about the legality in your area. Follow the laws. I have to say that, but on a moral level, I don't give a shit if you want to smoke pot. I don't think people whose brains are still being formed should be doing it. I'm just saying. Killing your brain cells before they've had a chance to fully develop is a bad idea.
Usually, yeah.
Okay. Jack,
Okay.
I still have time to fill, so I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh no.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
There's a couple. I'd probably go with Die Hard because that's the obvious choice. I do like watching A Christmas Story every year.
Oh, I love A Christmas Story.
You can't really go wrong with that. It's the only time I'll watch it once during the Christmas season so it doesn't get annoying because they play it all the time.
Didn't Turner used to play it like for 24 hours straight or something like that?
I think it was TNT used to do
TNT,
that.
yeah, but owned by Turner still, yeah.
Yeah.
I like A Christmas. I love when Ralphie loses his shit and beats up the bully.
Yeah. Scott Farkas.
And then when his mom pulls him off, he's crying.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie. And I'm with you. I can only watch it once a year.
Yeah, I mean, you can only watch some things in moderation. I usually watch several Christmas movies with my folks because they like them. They hate It's a Wonderful Life, but I'm okay with that movie. But again, once a year.
Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. Yeah, I love that moment.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Elf, honestly.
I've never seen Elf.
It's okay once, but if you don't like Will Ferrell, it's going to get real annoying.
The only thing I can watch Will Ferrell in, I can watch the original Anchorman and I can watch Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And even those two, by the end of it, I'm like, this should be over already. This should have been an hour at most.
Yeah, some comedy movies, they drag out a little too much. Hour and a half is tops for comedy.
They're basically SNL sketches that they drag out. It was the same thing with Blues Brothers. I know people love that movie. I can't watch it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Animal House was very much the Animal House is great until the last half of it because it's like they lost all the jokes are out and like let's fuck up a parade.
Yeah.
The beginning of Animal House is great. But that's because that's when it was a joke and they took it too far.
Yeah. But a lot of the sketch movies were like that. Anything by SNL probably should have been a 1 hour TV special at most.
I don't understand why they can't make hour-long movies. And I know you said TV movie, but why not an hour-long release in a theater? Why is it
they used to do that.
I know, right?
But you hate black and white, so maybe that's why they extended it so you would watch it.
Maybe. And then I bitch because it's too long. I saw Scrooged in there. That is one of my favorites. I finally did watch it this week.
Yeah, Scrooged is a great film.
Scrooged is my second favorite take on A Christmas Carol.
Oh, what's your first favorite?
The one with the guy who played Patton.
George C. Scott? That is a good version. Yeah.
I like that version because it's done the way the original story is written. That is a ghost story.
Yeah.
And yes, I realize, guys. Well, of course, it was written as a scary story, and I like that adaptation. But going absolutely the opposite way and just making it funny as hell was wonderful. I love Scrooge. You know what I watched today with my wife because this is one of her favorite Christmas movies that I'd never even heard of till I met her. Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's really hard one to find.
It is. I bought it for her on DVD one year because I know how much she loves it, but she found it on I think it was on Amazon. It's on there right now. And she absolutely loves that movie. I like it because the songs are silly.
Yeah.
And I miss the old Muppet days, which is basically what it is. The little animatron. It looks like the Chuck E. Cheese characters came to life.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Country Bears?
Long time ago. I don't have a lot of memory of it.
It's like 10 years old, 15.
Is it? I thought it was much older than that.
No, I don't think so. But I saw that. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, oh, it's okay. It's not a Christmas movie, but
maybe I'm thinking of something older.
I think you are. I don't know. But anyway, have you ever seen Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
Absolutely not.
You should. It's a cinema classic. It's about Santa Claus and the Martians try and kidnap him. But there's good Martians too. And there's a silly, goofy Martian guy. It's lots of fun. I highly recommend it. I watch it every year once.
What's the one that came out, I think, last year with the Santa Claus who fights terrorists or whatever?
Oh, Violent Night.
Violent Night, yeah. I think of it every time I watch Scrooge because it's literally taken from the front of at the beginning of Scrooge. One of the TV shows they're promoting is Santa Claus is getting attacked and Lee Majors shows up.
Yeah. Well, Lee Majors is awesome.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
I think back to a lot of the people that were big when we're growing up. You know, I was actually thinking. I don't know why my mind was on this, but I was thinking about bands that get pissed off because actually I do know how this came up, but they get mad because the front man becomes the only one who's really known. You know what I mean? Because everybody pays attention to the singer.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why don't you just do like Bruce Hornsby did? That's how it came up, where it's him and the band instead of the other way around. And the only exception I could think of to that, where somebody got more famous as like the guitarist than the lead singer, was Van Halen. But in that case, they're named after Eddie, which got me to thinking of Valerie Bertinelli. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise.
Are you?
I am. But it got me thinking about Valerie Bertinelli because he marries her when she's still kind of at the height of her popularity.
Yeah, I never found her that attractive.
Me neither, but she was very popular. And then I was like, what the fuck ever happened to Valerie Bertinelli?
She did like a bunch of like TV movie stuff, didn't she?
Yeah, and then just kind of disappeared. What happened to all the old people?
Some of those celebrities just vanish.
They do. They used to be on things like the $100,000 pyramid and shit. You go watch that now and try to guess who those people are. Like, tell me, Valerie was very beautiful. She was cute.
I never found her that attractive.
To me, it looked like somebody had squished her head.
Yeah, she had a kind of chubby face, I think is what it was. I don't know.
She became Valerie Bert and Ernie. Stop it. What happened to Tracy Ullman? She mostly started doing behind the scenes stuff after the Tracy Ullman show. She does a lot of writing and stuff, if I remember correctly. But people like every so often, when I'm watching Married with Children, there's a couple of episodes where Arnold from what was the name of the show? Different Strokes.
Oh yeah,
Gary Coleman. He'd pop up. Where'd Gary Coleman go?
He died. He became a security guard. Then he had a heart attack.
But before he died, I mean, these were major people at one time, and they just kind of disappear. It's weird to me to live through it.
Yeah. Well, I felt kind of bad for Arnold because he kind of got pigeonholed as like the kid star, and when he was just too old to be a cute kid anymore, his career fell apart. He ended up taking like a shitty part-time security job.
Somebody needed to write a show for him where he plays a character like Louis De Palma.
Yeah,
The
I'd watch that.
right, have him be some manager who's really pissy with everybody, but he's like a pint-sized little shit.
Yeah,
And instead of what you talking about, Willis, everything could be because I'm black. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You could have had so much fun with that. Webster, there's another one. Yeah, Emmanuel Lewis, is that his name?
Yeah, I think he died too.
Well, when you're that tiny, you don't live that long.
Punky Brewster, whatever happened to that kid?
Soleil Moonfry. She's last I saw her, she was actually pretty hot back in the day.
I heard she got hot, but
she was on an episode of Friends once, and if you don't know who it is, you will not recognize her.
wow.
Yeah, she played a girl who hit Joey and actually hurt him. Parents stole a lot of money back then. Yeah, because it wasn't the kids' money; it was mom and dad got rich. It's kind of like the people who exploit their children on YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's why they need to enforce Coogan's Law more, so that doesn't happen. But they stopped doing that for a while, and look what happened to Macaulay Culkin.
Rodline, I totally would have watched that. Gary Coleman and Danny DeVito as the odd couple. Hell yeah. Who would be the straight man in that one?
Danny DeVito.
You kind of have to make him that way. Well, Danny DeVito plays the Grouch so well, though.
He does, but that's why you got to mix it up.
Oh, the odd couple. What a great story. In the old days, they figured owed them. I mean, I'm kind of torn on that. I mean, you should save some of that money for the kid, but for it helping the family, I kind of understand that too. What's that little kid need $8 million for, Jack?
A lot of presents. Toys.
Buy him a G.I. Joe. Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Get back out there and make me money, kid.
Get out there and work.
Or
just
it's
stay away
the
from
mines.
You know what bothers me about those parents? It's not even them exploiting their children for the money. It's them letting their children be exploited sexually for the money.
Yeah.
They're basically pimps for their children.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean that sincerely. That's not a euphemism. That's not a metaphor. They're selling their children's bodies for money. And I don't mean the acting. These kids get raped a lot.
Yeah. Just ask Corey Feldman.
Well, look at Drew Barrymore. I mean, she was getting so high at 10 that she has no idea what all was happening to her.
Yeah.
And look what a fucked up person she turned out to be.
I suspect that it's actually a lot more common, and a lot more of these child actors were touched than we'll ever find out about.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, they're all worried about Harvey Weinstein telling people, hey, suck it if you want a job. And then they would suck it willingly as adults. I'm not worried about the adults. I'm worried about the children. Brooke Shields. Yeah, Brooke Shields is another one.
Yeah.
They sexually exploited the shit out of that woman when she was a child. Drew was seeing aliens. Drew, man, if you ever listen to her about, the time growing up in Hollywood, that she is as well adjusted, and that is very relative, as she is amazing. They were getting that little girl high in the ET days.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Wasn't she like an alcoholic during that time?
She was like an alcoholic before she was a teenager. That's what Hollywood does to children.
Yeah. Hollywood is a very despicable place. It's full of really evil people.
Mm-hmm. And you would think that at some point that the society would stop them, but man, they make great movies, don't they? Oh wait, no, they don't. No, they don't. Anyway, with that, guys, on that wonderful note, we're gonna wrap this one up, Jack.
Merry Christmas.
It is Christmas Eve, guys. I do not know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how the day wears on. But in any case, whether we are or not, I from the bottom of my heart, as Feliz Navidad says, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you fun and just wonderful family time. Enjoy it. Enjoy anything and anyone you can, because we don't get a lot of these days, Jack. For me, Christmas is a lot like a birthday. I tell you guys, I like birthdays because it's the one day that everybody's like, I'm glad you're alive. And Christmas is like the one day when everybody's like, isn't life wonderful, except for, grouchy bitches. And we we could do with a lot more of it. And since it's here, please enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the donations today and all year. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. But like Monkey said, thank you so much for all the support you guys give us, whether it's just watching the show or the donations. We do appreciate everything you guys do for us and coming out and chatting with us. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas or whatever you celebrate. I know we have some Jewish members of the audience, but I hope your Hanukkah went well. And thank you so much. And hopefully next year is better than this one.
Indeed. Even if you had a great year.
Yeah, it can always get better.
Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone have a wonderful night, a Merry Christmas, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I was going to sing a Christmas song about my dead mother, but somebody sang a different one about a fake mother. It kind of rhymes. I don't care. Bye.
Could have gone with